उनमें क्षमता है, वो देश का नेतृत्व कर सकते हैं, ये व्यक्तित्व है उनको। दावेदारी हम नहीं कर रहे, हमको मालूम है हम छोटी पार्टी हैं, हम कहाँ से दावेदारी करेंगे, लेकिन उनमें विजन है, उनमें सोच है। कई योजनाएं हैं इस बिहार में नीतीश कुमार जी ने जो शुरू किया 2005 से आज तक, वो योजना फिर केंद्र सरकार की योजना बन गई।
Though there is no official claim, JDU leaders are quite convinced that Bihar CM Nitish Kumar ticks all the right boxes for becoming the country's prime minister. After pulling away from the BJP for the second time in 9 years, Nitish urged all opposition parties to come together. Well, if Nitish does indeed stake his claim to become the opposition's PM face, he would be the fourth major opposition leader to do so, after Chandrashekar Rao, Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal. The question, however, is who among these leaders will be acceptable to most opposition parties.
Logically speaking, he appears to be the main contender could be the main contender in 24, because he is a man who has many years behind him. He has shown guts to stand up against Modi, and therefore there is a possibility. It's, as I said, it's too early to predict anything like that. But yes, when the time comes, probably he may come up as a consensus candidate, because he has certain qualities which and he has more acceptability than any of the other contenders.
Nitish's strong points are his non-controversial image as well as his long experience as CM. Parties like the RJD, Samajwadi Party and the RLD would be happy to back him too. However, strong regional parties like the TMC, NCP and the TRS may not come on board too easily, as their own leaders are contenders for the PM's post. Congress too has a perennial PM aspirant in Rahul Gandhi, and the party is unlikely to agree to play second fiddle to regional leaders at the national level.
Politics is a game, and this one, he has made the right move. He has given Modi in Bihar. He has certainly given a jolt to Modi. There is no doubt about it. So, the other contenders for the so-called opposition consensus candidate like Mamata or KCR and others, nobody is saying on his own that he is going to be a contender, including Nitish Kumar, and very rightly so. But these are conjectures which we are all making, because they happen to be leaders in their own right in their respective areas. But when it comes to comparison between Mamata, KCR and Nitish, I am sure Nitish will find more acceptability than the other two, because they are strictly confined to their respective states, whereas Nitish is likely to enlist support of parties which are outside Bihar also. So that is why he is seen as a bigger contender if the time comes, and if something. But otherwise, the way things are, Modi is ruling the roost, and the kind of gimmicks he continues to play. So he is likely to rule the roost, because the opposition, I don't blame him as much for the country, the way we are going. It is the opposition. It's a complete failure of the opposition, and the main political leading opposition party, Congress, has killed itself.
Of course, Nitish's repeated somersaults on relationship with the BJP is a weak spot. On the other hand, it would not be easy for him to challenge PM Narendra Modi at the national level. Modi's charisma still remains intact despite rising inflation and declining incomes of voters.
Because Modi, the kind of cloud he has built, the kind of aura he has built about himself, he has built a cult, I would say. So it is not very easy to demolish that by 2024. This is just a ray of hope that he has shown by taking a stand against Modi and actually making him winning this particular game in Bihar. So at the moment, everybody sees him as a potential candidate who could, ultimately there has to be someone who can, because Sharad Pawar was seen as one veteran leader, but Sharad Pawar again is now too old. He may not be able to mobilize But Nitish Kumar, despite all his somersaults, he is still seen as a good leader and rated as a relatively cleaner politician. You know, in this country, the whole problem is most politicians are so thoroughly corrupt that nobody has any faith in them.
The next Lok Sabha polls are 20 months away, yet the opposition space has already become crowded with many aspirants for the top job. It remains to be seen if Nitish Kumar is able to project himself as a cut above the rest. A Times Online report.